Arcadian Vanguard presents the Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Sunday, December 8th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with NXT Deadline, streamed live last night on Peacock and the WWE Network from the Minneapolis Armory in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Trick Williams retained his NXT Championship against Ridge Holland, defeating him in 15 minutes and 52 seconds.
Trick kicked out! Booker, Trick's alive!
You gotta be kidding me.
And Trick just turned back the Redeemer as Williams continues to wave the NXT banner.
Julia won the Women's Iron Survivor Challenge match, emerging victorious over Zarya, Stephanie Vacour, Ren Sinclair, and Sol Ruca. The Men's Iron Survivor Challenge match was won by Obafemi, coming out on top over Nathan Frazier, Javon Evans, Wes Lee, and Ethan Page.
Time is the factor now, Book. The sand is running out in the dial for these superstars. There's 20 seconds left for these three. Double choke slam!
Oh, wait a minute!
Double choke slam
Double
by
cover!
Oba! Double cover!
Wow!
Just like that! Obafemi
has scored 2 falls!
Femi's the leader!
You gotta be
Femi's
kidding
at
me,
3!
man.
There's only 5 seconds! Covered by Evans!
Cover him!
Cover him, Evans!
Cover him!
And he's gonna run out of time!
In other results, Axiom and Nathan Frazier retained the NXT Tag Team title over the No Quarter Catch crew, and Lola Vice won an NXT Underground match against Jada Parker via referee stoppage. In other WWE news, the company updated the status of 3 men rumored to have suffered injuries during the Survivor Series event on November 30th. During SmackDown on Friday night, the company announced that the Bloodline's Tonga Loa was going to miss an indefinite period of time due to getting surgery for a torn left bicep. Bronson Reed was announced as suffering a broken foot, and he too would also be requiring surgery. Jey Uso suffered a broken toe that has kept him away from the ring, but the injury does not appear it will force him under the knife. AEW presented Collision live last night on TNT from the Greater Columbus Convention Center in Columbus, Ohio. In the main event, Mark Briscoe defeated Daniel Garcia in a Continental Classic Blue League tournament match. In an earlier Blue League match, Kyle Fletcher bested Kazuchika Okada, and Darby Allin beat Commander in a Continental Classic Gold League match to open the show. During an in-ring promo, AEW World Champion Jon Moxley and the Death Riders were confronted by Orange Cassidy, leading to Cassidy getting beaten down by the Death Riders until FTR made the save. In other results, Mina Shirakawa beat Emi Sakura, and Willow Nightingale pinned Serena Deeb to earn a spot to face Jamie Hayter in a Women's Cup qualifier. In more AEW news, Phoenix took to social media yesterday to take a shot at his current employer. In response to a fan asking why he hasn't been used by AEW, Phoenix responded by writing, quote, "I will have my chance to speak the truth," end quote, and following that with another post which read, quote, "No one stays in a place where they received inhumane treatment," end quote. In September, it was reported that while the contract of Phoenix's brother Penta El Zero Miedo had expired, nearly a year's worth of injury time was added on to Phoenix's contract. It is expected that both brothers would be joining WWE once their AEW deals expired. Neither has wrestled on AEW television since July. And finally, turning to Japan, Stardom's Tag Team Tournament is nearing its close. On Saturday in Hamamatsu, the semifinals of the Goddesses of Stardom Tag Team Tournament took place and saw the teams of Hanako and Maika defeat Hazuki and Koguma, while Hanan and Sayaida knocked off Natsupoi and Sayori Ano. The finals of the tournament take place today also in Hamamatsu. We'll have reports on Stardom, All Japan, and New Japan's tag leagues all running the final nights of their tag tournaments on Sunday during tomorrow's newscast. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the wrestling news. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.